It's a beautiful day out there. Time to explore. Well, welcome to our boondocking spot here at the St. John the Baptist Mountains, which I'll show you in a little bit. On BLM land, 14 days free stay. We're just getting ready to pack up and get out of here. We're outside of Ajo, Arizona, down the southwest part of the state. And let me give you a look around. Well, St. John the Baptist mountain range is not that much, but here I thought I'd give you a look at what we're talking about. And it'd be nice if you could get to those. And that's it. If you could get to those, but there's an aurora, a wash that's so thick, it's virtually impossible to actually get over the mountains. Well, let me take you a walk up to our campsite, show you around. And there's Melody probably heading out, so she's not in the video. Very quiet, very remote. I'll have directions and everything down in the description, GPS coordinates. But just a quick little walk around. One thing that was interesting when we were setting up a couple days ago, and this is the first week of November 2023. Fire pit that I built where we sit out at night. I'm outside doing stuff. Melody's inside the cargo trailer doing stuff. And all of a sudden, I hear this huge boom. And I thought, what's she doing in there? And she's inside saying, what's he doing out there? Turns out we're right by the Barry Goldwater bombing range. And somebody in a jet plane hit their afterburners, and we got a sonic boom, and that's kind of cool. Trail cam, if I picked up anything, I'll let you know. That's our Starlink. We had somebody was out here. They did have Verizon. We have a Sprint. Not very good cell phone service out here. So this is just a view around. Very remote, very challenging to get to. We're actually on the way, going to drive out and see a third possible way to get to this site. And then I'll give you a map to the best way to get here. So let me show you a few other interesting things we found here. They're trying to reclaim the land here, so they don't want you camping here. We're back behind the signs. But if they ever get the reclamation finished, you could run right back here to boondock. But interesting site one here. Oh, big hole in the ground. I don't know how well it's going to show up. There it is. It's just, the sun's just been up for about an hour or two, so it may not be very clear. So when you're in Arizona, anytime you see a big hole like this, you think mine. But that pipe coming up there, now I'm thinking more like well at one time, but unsure. So that was interesting thing number one we found here. Retracing our route to interesting things. Number two, one bad thing, you can tell people come out here to target shoot, and there's a lot of glass, a few cans, and they didn't bother picking up after themselves. Besides glass and cans, no other real trash. And just when we were exploring, we decided to take this walk. It's going to be a wash down here. And if you're tent camping, you want to be out of the sun, that's a wonderful spot to do it. But as I said, it's a reclamation project here. They probably don't want you down here. And we're just walking towards the St. John the Baptist. And somebody, I really don't know how this is going to come out, but somebody once brought their car in here, and there's what part of what remains of it. Okay. Well, actually, we're debating for a while, since we're next to the bombing range, whether it was an airplane or a car, and zooming up. And then if you walk through here, excuse me for the camera, but I have to kind of do a little bushwhacking here to get through. That looks like the rear end of the car. And if I could get around better, you could see, it looks like something from like the 1940s, maybe. Now, how to get the name, the St. John the Baptist Mountains, actually an interesting story. Give me a second to get back out of here. And I can say, okay, back out. And this comes down to a wash here. I'm sure during monsoon, get a lot of water. And it's really lush, you know, it hardly looks like the desert here. And as I said, there's the mountains. But we were talking about climbing one of those peaks, but it's like, how do I get to them? So we scratched that from the list. Okay, that was the second interesting thing, the old car. And there's just more of it there. And the third interesting thing we found, let me tell you why I'm walking there. St. John the Baptist Mountains. There's actually a nickname of somebody. I don't remember which way I'm going here. Someone who served, and I think it was a Spanish American in the First World War, came out here, and I'll put his name up. I have to look it up. It was John somebody. Okay. He basically became a hermit and came out here and just lived on his own. They said his mechanical skills were very good, and he was very much a recluse, but he had such good skills that he'd go into the town of Ajo and repair cars and machinery and things like that. I guess he picked up a few bucks like that, and from what I read, he passed away from malnutrition eventually. But some say, it's hard to tell. Post-traumatic stress syndrome, something like that. He was very like a hermit in the desert. So since his name was John, they named it the St. John the Baptist Mountains. And Melody found this next thing quite by accident. She's just out here walking through the wash, hoping something shows up on the trail cam. We're seeing a lot of scat on the ground here. Don't know if it's a memorial or a grave site. If it doesn't show up well, I took a still picture, but Dave Harrison, and it lists the dates there. He was from Tucson, lived his whole life in Tucson, but then they had a memorial service at the Moose Lodge in Ajo, which is about 10 miles from here. And really don't know if it's a gravesite or just a memorial, because we're on government land. I'm not seeing how you get permission to bury someone here. But then again, I don't see how you get permission to put up a marker here. So from what the research Melody did on the internet about the person, it just didn't give that much information, just his age, date of death, date of birth, surviving family members. I probably have to edit this since I'm walking into the sun. So that was a third interesting thing we found at the site. As far as anybody else around, I can scream at the top of my lungs. Ain't nobody gonna hear me. Very remote. It was a struggle to get the trailer in here. But we made it. That's all that matters. Just go out to the road here. And we're actually at an intersection. Yeah, here. Okay. Just to give you an idea, this road here is option 1 to get out of here. That's where we've been when we went up to Ajo. We went out that way. Option 2, well, let's do option 2 this way. We're gonna try heading down this road. Lots of deep culverts, washes. I was scraping bottom on the F-150, which is a high clearance vehicle. So we tried that first one I showed you. Later today, we're going to drive down here to see if that's better to get out. And what you do not want to do is to come in from the north, this way. This is the way we came in this past Tuesday, this Friday. Had to do some cross-country driving because we get off the road. The BLM is not nearly as good as the Forest Service with having maps and roads and road maintenance, and that's saying something because sometimes the Forest Service isn't that good. But that way was just a pain. So don't come in from the north. I'll let you know whether the south or from the east is a better way to get here. And as a south, with GPS and everything down in. Let me just, in case I forgot. This is the view you're basically getting. You're going to hit sun there. But it's wide open area. We did have a backpacker walk by. I was sitting outside, maybe making a campfire or something. I heard some footsteps. I thought Melody was in the trailer. And turns out, no, there's a backpacker. But that's the only person we saw. Stars, fantastic. You get very little light out of Ajo from the north. So it's very nice, wonderful at night out here. I hope you enjoyed the video. Nice place, especially if you want to be solitude. You have maybe Forward Mouth down to Organ Pipe, and you see a lot of videos about boondocking where you come in Gunsight Road or go up the Gunsight Wash or something off of 85. We don't like to be around people, so every of those videos I watched, well, there was a camper, there was a camper, there was a camper. Now, you're probably not going to bring a Class A in here, but if you have something like our 14-foot cargo trailer with 4-wheel drive, there's no problem. And it's going to be a struggle, but you can make it without, I don't really have any skills at driving 4-wheel drive. So if I can do it, mostly anybody who has any talent at it could do it. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to finish packing up, head back to Tucson. And if you did, think about hitting that subscribe button. Thumbs up. What else is there? Leave a comment. I'm forgetting one. Oh, yes, hit the notification bell. So as I said, I always like to see that people enjoy the videos. It always gives me incentive to make more. So have yourself a blessed day now.